What comes to mind when you hear the word trust?
We usually think of trust as like the glue that holds us all together. It's not that.
Harvard Business School professor Sandra Sucher's latest book is The Power of Trust: How Companies Build It, Lose It, Regain It.
Trust is actually a relationship in which we're vulnerable to the party we're trusting.
In the past, you were vulnerable to your boss to manage efficiency, maybe give a nice raise, or to remember to order you something vegan when they ordered lunch in. And if they didn't, you'd grumble a little bit, then go buy a bag of chips out of the vending machine. But COVID raised the stakes a little bit to, life or death.
All of a sudden, everyone has to be competent at managing the health and safety of the people who work for them.
To be fair, when this once-in-a-generation pandemic crisis dropped into our laps, most companies went to extraordinary lengths to build trust by figuring out how to keep their people and customers safe.
There are companies that have done a spectacular job, often under duress, at trying to figure out what does it mean to be trusted and to act in ways that allow them to be trusted.
But not every company.
So let's take an example. So Amazon, profit increased in 2020 by 84%. Employee pay on a weekly basis is on average $560.
That's compared to pre-pandemic median employee pay of about $555 per week, according to research published in the New York Times, meaning workers saw a less than 1% increase in the same time frame. So while Jeff Bezos launches himself into space, a week's pay for his average employee doesn't even cover the rent.
So just ask yourself, how does that deal strike you for the people who load all of those trucks and get all the stuff to us that we've been ordering?
They probably think he is what his rocket looks like.
We don't trust organizations that aren't fair.
And if your company didn't have your back or increased wage disparities during a crisis, you might be inclined to rethink the relationship.
Because I'm facing life and death, I start to think quite concretely about what kind of a deal do I want to have at my work.
Which is why surveys say close to 40% of employees would rather quit than return to an office full time. If you're at a company where trust has been damaged, don't worry, it can be fixed. We're running down Sandra's post-COVID trust recovery plan. Hey, we're all making this up as we went along, so if you drop the ball, fess up with an apology.
Senior leadership, no matter how well-intentioned, had to make some tough calls that affected people, and they need to say that they know that they've caused some harm, and they have to say that they're sorry about that.
Follow up that apology with an explanation.
There's got to be some explanation about why did we do the things we did.
Connect the dots for people outside your head.
Try to read people into the kinds of areas that they were taking into consideration when they made those decisions.
Finally, make an offer of repair.
So this is where you have to say, okay, I did some bad things, I'm quite sorry about them, here's why I did them, and here's what I intend to do better in the future.
And get input into how to do better.
This is one-on-one communication to find out how COVID has been for you, what the company did well or poorly, and what challenge you face right now.
How to repair trust post-COVID is at the top of the list.